Good day, brothers and sisters. It's a beautiful Monday afternoon. You know, I've said it a couple times that coming out of the darkness, so I understand a lot. So this one's going to be a long one. I'm going to give the quickest version of this that I can to kind of help people understand. And even if one person is helped by it, that's all that really matters. But I'm going to tell bits and pieces of my life from the start to current present. And in the end, take not away from it what was done upon me, but the lessons that I learned that has given me the ability to help all of you. So when I say I was born into darkness, I was obviously born, and then for a spell raised by a would-be 16-year-old crack whore. She got into all kinds of things, and I suffered a lot. Left in the desert, improper clothing, abandoned in a lot of ways. Pushed out of the car, not while it was moving, but pushed out of the car to watch it drive off as a scare tactic at a young age. But what really happened, more so than anything, was that there, from as long as I can remember, has been physical abuse. Slammed against a wall at 6 months old by whoever the mother was hanging around with. I got that story from her years ago. But there was a lot of sexual abuse. There was a lot of physical abuse, and it happened pretty much daily until I was 13. Got big enough to not be beaten on or touched anymore. I had good people in my life. I'm not going to say that they were all bad. I did learn many lessons from the good and many lessons from the bad. I can say that the most of the suffering that I've ever inquired was certainly at the hands of a woman from a very young age. More than one mother figure in my life was sexually abusive, physically abusive, verbally abusive, mentally abusive. Drugs are a nasty thing, folks. They take away the human being. And when you're on certain drugs, you don't know what you're doing. You think you do, but that's the demon inside of it that's just telling you lies to keep you at low vibration. By the time I was 13, I was so emotionally, mentally, physically depressed by everything that had occurred to me throughout that time. Threatened to do some explosive damage to a school, spent some time in an insane asylum. They don't take that lightly, especially after some of the history in this country. Didn't stay in the insane asylum that long, but there were blood tests and whatnot done to me just to see if I was legitimately crazy. Well, deemed not so. I've been in many foster homes, South Dakota, Nebraska. So I guess 1, 2, 3 or 4. So that's still many for a young kid. Some of those foster homes were great. Some of those foster homes were abusive. one in particular. Wasn't abusive toward the other foster kids, but he was definitely abusive towards some adoptive ones. Very abusive. But he had issues too from military service. Not excusing him in any way. Just simply saying when everybody sees somebody and they think that, oh, that's bad or whatnot, that behavior was taught. That behavior was put into that person too. And they're crying out for help because they don't understand why either. They don't. Let's see. In and out of juvenile homes, group home, juvenile penitentiary. It's a very, it's on a very, very destructive path. Very much so. I had a girl pregnant by, the time I was 17. They aborted that child. I did not care for that action. Parents knew. We knew what we were doing. And I don't care how young you are. You knew what you were doing. And the parents knew it was happening. To me, that was a firm form of birth control. And that's, come on now, that broke my heart consistently more than what it was to do that, to be a part of that action, because I had no say. Went in the military, found out that I don't take orders very well. Was a bit of a, ladies' man. I had a thing for married women, and boy, did I utilize that to the fullest extent that I could. Ended up having 2 women pregnant at the same time. They literally should have given birth days apart. And there were medical reasons as to why they weren't. My oldest is 16, but I've been accused of fathering 15 children. Not all on paper. 5 on paper. Gave the rights up to two of them to someone else, obviously. There's still 3 on paper. 2 moms, 2 marriages. Went AWOL from the military. Because of the 2 pregnancies and being a 19-year-old kid, not knowing what the hell to do. Plus, I had a unit that did not care for its soldiers. Wow. Anyhow, I went to prison for that. Got a year for quitting my job because I didn't agree with what was going on. And I had personal issues, obviously, from years of abuse and a lot of things being taught in a dark way. But anyhow, got out of military prison, went to back home to would be Iowa at the time, and to my first wife. Ended up divorcing her. It is what it is. I wasn't a good husband to her. I was a good provider. Was not a loyal husband to her. Yet again, I was a good provider. That's pretty much all I was. Had a second wife that lasted 10 years. Firmly believe she tried to kill me with antifreeze. Not once, but twice. And failed. Had some people that I hooked up with that said they were going to do some good things in life. Turns out they weren't. I believe they also tried to kill me, poisoning me yet again. Looks like we're about out of time here. Well, sending love and light as always. Have a good day, brothers and sisters.